Hey guys, my name is Melanie Ludy and welcome back to my channel. So this is the week that my current 8th graders graduate. So I thought I would do an Ask Me Anything kind of video where those students and past students get to ask me anything about being their teacher. Let's go. All right, so let's start off big with that first question. How is it being a teacher? It's interesting. It's definitely not what they tell you it's gonna be on like TV shows, especially like Disney Channel, Nickelodeon. You know when they show there's like teen shows like iCarly, Boy Meets World, those kinds of things. Like it's not so simple as that. There's like so much back work that goes into just like being in front of students, teaching them certain things. Like there's so much more prep than you would have thought just like looking at it, but it's a really big challenge and I really like that part of it. So I have to make sure that I have lessons planned for my students that are the right level for them so that you guys don't get super frustrated with what I'm trying to teach you, but like you still feel like you learned something at the end of the day. And like that's a really hard line to balance. If I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably put it as like an 8. It's really challenging, and because it's so challenging, I feel really rewarded when I do hit those milestones or I do make the goal. But there is a lot of like work that I put in that I don't feel like gets acknowledged, and that's a little hard. But I think that's probably most jobs you're gonna see, unless you're like in the NFL. And like, let's be honest, if you're in the NFL, life is just great. So, okay, so kind of tying all that together, how long have I been a teacher and what made me start and what's my favorite part? So let's start with what's my favorite part. My favorite part of teaching is getting to know my students and having them make the knowledge their own. So like when kids get really excited about whatever we're talking about, like we were talking about evolution a couple weeks ago and I made this really great analogy. And some of my students got really excited about the analogy and that makes me feel really good. Or like when you know enough about it that you can make a joke about it. That's really fun. My first grade, the class who graduated in 2019, they were awesome at that. Oh, that whole class was just so much personality and they were so smart, but they were hard to teach because they had so much personality. But they made some of the best jokes out of the things we were talking about in class, and it just made it so much fun. Next one is how long have I been a teacher and what made me start? So I've been a teacher since 2018-ish, although I was teaching in a daycare a couple years before that, so really like 2014-ish, I guess, if you want to count those years. Originally, when I graduated college, I was just like, I don't know what I want to do. I wanted to be a physical therapist, and that sucks. I hated that when I shadowed people to get like my hours that I needed, because you need hours to go to grad school, which is smart. But I hated my physical therapy stuff. I didn't know what to do, and I had tutored in college. So I thought, okay, well, this will be a great thing for me to like start to look into. So I was like, I was happy tutoring. What's a job with that? And I thought of teaching. So then I went through the whole process of like getting my master's, getting certified, and it was a whole long thing. But yeah, it was just because I remember tutoring chemistry in college, and that was one of the things that made me really happy about it. So someone else asked, did you always want to be a teacher? It's funny, when I graduated high school, I thought I was going to teach math. And so I went to college and I was like, okay, I want to be a math teacher. And then I took an education course and I hated it. I absolutely hated that education course. So I was like, okay, I'm not supposed to be a teacher. So then I looked into physical therapy and I was a doctor candidate for like a semester just because I had all those credits too. And then I just didn't know by the end of college, why science? Why not math then? So I really loved chemistry. Chemistry is like my baby. It's by far my favorite topic in science. And it's because it blends so much science and math together. And it's in ways that like, you could argue that for physics too, but physics was just not as exciting. I don't know why, but it wasn't as exciting. So I really got into chemistry, and that's why I really liked science. Okay, so So the next question was, what would you do if you weren't a teacher? It's a great question. If I wasn't a teacher, I would probably be doing some kind of group management. So like coordinating a team and working together on projects. I really like the organizational side of teaching and the prep work. So like maybe planning events. I think that could be fun. So I've taught 3 graduating classes at this point, and I got a question from almost every year. What do you miss about us? What do you remember about us? So let me start at the beginning. So the class that graduated in 2019, I came late to their school year, and they were just kind of off the charts in terms of personality, smarts, and like behavior. Like that class, like don't even lie to me. You know you were out of pocket the majority of the time. But like, you guys were awesome, and I really missed that class as a whole. Like, I learned so much from that class in the years following that I really feel like I would want to teach that group again, because they were so awesome with their personality and how much they like just intuitively knew. They were so much fun. I really wish I had a do-over with that class. The class 2020. So you guys, I actually had for almost 2 years, because I came late your first 7th grade year, but you guys were sweethearts. You were such sweethearts. Like, you were so incredibly patient with me while I figured out my teaching life, and I am forever grateful for it. Honestly, you guys taught me so much. And like the hardest part of teaching your year was finding balance. So how hard could I push you with the work that I gave that you felt challenged but not overwhelmed? Because that class was also super smart, and it was really hard to find that balance. So that was probably the biggest thing. Also, there were so many athletes in that group, and it was so much fun because you guys were so engaged in like a lot of the other things we were doing. And then this current class that's graduating in 2021, you guys, I think, have the most sass and personality in that sense of like, you are not here for any kind of nonsense. And you are over all of that nonsense of this person and that person. And like, you also grew with me, I think, the most. Because I had you the full 2 years, I really saw how you guys grew. And it was really about working out the finer details of how I was gonna do things. But I am gonna miss this class a lot. Also, I'm like really bummed that I didn't get most of your senior year with you in person, because I think it would have been a lot of fun. So, understandably, I got some questions about how is it teaching this year in virtual. Virtual teaching I really liked because I didn't have to worry about classroom management. I really just got to focus on the curriculum and making lessons and making activities that were suitably hard but not overwhelming. And that was something I've been trying to work on for years. So I really appreciated having that time virtual to do that. But I really feel like I got a great handle on the technology, and I had like a lot of fun designing those assignments and kind of figuring out how I could use it to make it work for me and the other kids that I had. How do you like our school? The school is going through a major like metamorphosis right now, and it's from like top down. So like our admins are different, and that really changes the whole feel and like theme almost of the building, and like how people respond to each other and how people interact with each other. I'm really feeling that vibe, and like the students are starting to catch up on that vibe, and they're also getting more in that spirit. And it's not just like, we're gonna do whatever we want and it's gonna be what it is. Like, no, it's just like we have a lot more order, we're a lot more organized as a school, and like I'm really starting to feel that approach, and I really like it. And honestly, the kids at the school, which I'm not gonna say here, but the kids at school, they're honestly good kids. Like, you guys get a bad rap sometimes, but no, you guys are great kids. One of the most loved teachers in the building said this to me, like, the best example of you kids is I can leave my purse or my bag out on the desk, and the most that's gonna happen is someone's gonna say, oh, hey, Miss Ludy, you left this. Like, nothing's gonna get touched, nothing's gonna do anything like that. Like, you guys are honestly good kids, and like, it's great to work with y'all. So next question is, what is your favorite teaching memory? By far, my first year, it was like a random week in May when PSSAs are over and you got to find something to do. Also, Bruno. And we decided to do forces, and we got these pizza boxes and this tug of war rope, and we had kids stand on the pizza box and like get drug on the tug of war rope by like 4 of their classmates, and we made a race out of it. It was so much fun. I had kids like surfing on pizza boxes down that 3rd floor hallway. It was so much fun. Ugh, by far my favorite thing I've ever done. So I had someone ask about my morning routine. Also, the person who asked has always been superiorly future-minded, so I'm not even surprised that they asked that question. But I'll link that up above. And someone else asked, what is my most popular video? It is that morning routine video. And right now, I think it has like 430 views or something. So I'll link that above for you guys in case you want to watch that. Other YouTube questions I got. How hard is it to edit and how long does it take? So when I first started back in October, it was forever. Like it took me 2 weeks to edit a 18-minute video or something like that. 2 weeks of like 2 hours a night. It was ridiculous. Now, I think this video will probably take me like an hour, hour and a half to edit. And it's probably gonna take me like 40 minutes to film. And like all the other stuff that goes in, like this video altogether will probably take me like 4 hours. So I've really cut down because I figured out how to edit. What are the keyboard shortcuts? What are the filters that do XYZ things? And how do you make the thumbnail? All that stuff. So I edit videos on Shotcut because it's free and it has a lot of pretty good features. And then I make my thumbnails on Canva because someone else asked that too. All right, so now we're gonna go lightning round. So favorite animal. Honestly, it's probably my dog Bruno, who's walking right there. He's the cutest. And he's just naughty. Yes, you're naughty. You dig in the flower beds and you try and go in the trash because you're a puppy. You're lucky you're cute. I also have 2 cats, Louie and Pierre. I'm gonna put pictures of them over here because, you know, they're cute. They're probably 3 and they're like 8 or 9 pounds, so they're little. Wedding date, 9/25/2021, so end of this summer. Do I listen to Future or Nicki Minaj? Not really. I have a couple tracks where they're like featured, but I like Cardi B more if I'm gonna go like gritty girl rap. Let's see. Name all the elements in the periodic table. Oh God, okay. Hydrogen, helium, boron, beryllium, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, calcium, potassium, sodium's over there, silicone, sulfur, phosphorus, argon, there's neon over there, chlorine, bromine, then there's like a bunch of metals in the middle. It's like manganese, copper, silver, gold, mercury, magnesium's on the left, lead, yeah. Yeah, there you go. How many did I get? That's the number I got. Go me. If I taught another subject, what would it be? Math, for sure. If I didn't teach science, I would teach math because math just makes so much sense. Favorite fast food? Wendy's, for sure. I always get the quarter pounder deluxe with cheese, and then I get French fries, and I always go for a small Frosty because your girl loves some ice cream. Also, favorite ice cream flavor? Chocolate raspberry chip from Nelson's, which is no longer open, which is devastating, but it had chocolate ice cream with raspberry syrup swirled and like mini chocolate pieces. It was bomb.com. Kids, I don't have any right now, but I want to have a whole bunch in the future, but we'll see how many we get to. More Bruno. Favorite color? Pink, for sure. For sure. Favorite cartoon characters? I watched so much SpongeBob as a child. I had like 6 seasons on DVD, so I have to put SpongeBob up there. I also really liked how Jimmy Neutron was animated. Like I loved that 3D weird style. Other hobbies, YouTube. YouTube is how I spend most of my time outside of school. Also dollar store crafts. I've been really into that portion of YouTube lately and I made a whole bunch of things, including this cup. There, we got it. It says Miss Ludy on it. Yeah, I made this. Favorite song, the whole Sour album right now. I've been obsessed. So if you have not listened to the whole thing, you need to do that. First big hair chop. So I usually get my hair cut off every 4 years. So the first time I did it, I was a sophomore in high school, and I've donated probably like 14 inches. So it was like here. And I usually get it down to like my mid back before I cut it, and then it'll go back up to here. The last time I did it, I think was like January. Favorite science topic, chemistry, and then within chemistry, equilibrium. So it's like, how do things go between products and reactants, and like how much actually gets made. There's a lot of algebra involved with it, which is why I think I like it. Favorite scientist. I honestly don't know that many scientists, because honestly, I don't really care. Like, I like the topic. I don't need to know who thought about it. Like, I've never been into that biography side of it, but I guess we'll throw Madame Curie in there, because, you know, she's a female chemist. We'll go with that. Yeah, and that's the end of my lightning round questions. So I hope you liked that video. Bruno and I are gonna say see you later. If you liked it, make sure you like and subscribe down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.